Today I just wanted to sit down at my window staring out on the amazing views whilst chilling on my bed, and I wanted to speak about football today. Now I know some of you like the football videos, some of you absolutely don't like it. Well, to be honest, I don't care, because I decide at the end of the day what gets made or not. I'm going to be mainly discussing in this video about Man United's progress, how they've transitioned from a 4-0 loss against Brentford about a month ago to transitioning into beating Liverpool, Arsenal and hopefully upcoming Crystal Palace. We'll also be discussing in this video about the Champions League, because believe it or not, I didn't even know Champions League was playing yesterday because I was actually busy recording a few videos last night for the ASMR channel. Somebody had snapped me and said, "Hey yo, are you watching the Juventus PSG game?" I said, "No, is the Champions League right now?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Oh, okay, I didn't know," but I couldn't really be bothered because today is the Champions that I'm about to watch. I want to watch Ajax Rangers because I support Ajax, but I also want to see Inter Milan against Bayern Munich. Don't you think this is just awesome? I actually got this a few years ago. Well, I found it on the beach in St. Martin. Look how awesome this is. Manchester United is the club that I've been supporting for years. Now, you may know that I'm a United supporter. I've got rugs of United, I've got t-shirts. I even have a bottle cap of United, which actually, ironically enough, my friend's mom got. Brendan actually got it when they were in Spain last year. She bought a whole bottle cap of United. Let me show you. I've still got it here. Just gotta find where it is. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Yeah. Here you go. Would you take a look at this? Look how awesome this is, right? She got this in Spain. I didn't even know they sold merch like this. It's unofficial, but it's still really dope regardless. United, about a month ago, played Brentford, and you know, ironically enough, I wasn't very optimistic. United hadn't really been playing good, and if you've been supporting United since, you know, obviously Alex Ferguson retired, it's gone downhill, unfortunately. After that we got David Moyes. I think it didn't even last a season. David Moyes was a panic buy, and it's been like that for years at the club, obviously, since the Glazers have taken it over for a while. Because believe it or not, the Glazers have been there for a very long time. I think, or maybe not sure if it's true, but I think they were also there when, you know, we had Alex Ferguson, but I could be wrong because I only started watching United since 2011-2012. Ironically, that's also the last time they won the Premier League. But regardless of that, we sacked David Moyes, and then we got Louis van Gaal. And this is what I was very, very disappointed with, because I was really liking Louis van Gaal's idea of, you know, doing stuff. Obviously, the games we played weren't the greatest, but it wasn't like the game we played with David Moyes were great, and it wasn't also like we've been good for a couple years. You know, we make a lot of fun about Arsenal and about Tottenham. I will be honest, Tottenham is very fortunate enough to have Kane and Son. I do believe, and I do think they're going to leave eventually. I think Harry Kane will definitely leave the next season. I think Harry Kane will either go to Manchester City or Real Madrid. As weird as it may sound, I got a feeling he's going to leave, because with all due respect, if you look at his stats and how he plays, Harry Kane is actually too good for Tottenham. Tottenham is a bit of a joke club because they don't really win anything, unfortunately. It's just a shame, because I really like the players. Unfortunately, at United, we've seen they've given managers either not enough time or they've given them too much time. As you can see with, you know, Jose Mourinho, a lot of people did not like him, including my father. My father absolutely despised him. I said, listen, I don't hate the guy, I don't like the guy, but he's doing well at the moment. You know, the last thing we won in 2017 was the Europa League. Okay, it was against Ajax 2-0, but still, a trophy is a trophy, right? We've had also a lot of players at United that just weren't playing for their badge, and lately, and this is, I think, the past couple of games, we've really been seeing a change mentally, the players and at the staff around coaching the players. You know, because when we lost against Brentford, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking and doing in that game. It was like they weren't bothered. And, you know, I gotta also give credit to a certain player that gets a lot of hate on him because, well, he plays shit most of the time. Let's keep it a bucket. Scott McTominay. The past 2-3 games, he's been playing really solid. I've gotta give credit where credit has to be given. We've had Donny van der Beek at the club for 2 years already, and I can't remember one game that he's played full this season so far. He's only been brought in for like 5 or 10 minutes, and I think it's really disappointing considering we got him for a reason 2 years ago. They made all these promises saying we're going to use him. Solskjaer never used him. And also a thing with Solskjaer, it was never going to happen with him. You know, I think we also gave him too much time, but a lot of people had critics on Eric Ten Hag. Oh, we should have gotten Pochettino. Thank fuck we didn't. Because I always said, if we can get Eric Ten Hag, he'll make the change. And yet again, it's taken a couple weeks to get the change done, but I like what he's doing so far. Do I personally agree with what he's doing with Ronaldo? You know, at the end of the day, we don't get to decide. And there's obviously a reason why Ronaldo, the past couple of games, has started on the bench. Because Rashford's playing good at the moment. I'm liking it so far. Anthony Martial is unfortunately still injured. But if he gets over his injury soon enough, he'll be able to play in the striker position. And this is also one of the things that I found so disappointing during the transfer window with United, was the fact for 4 months, nearly 4 fucking whole months, 120 days, we were purely focused on Frenkie de Jong. That was our main target. We would have gotten him if it wasn't for the $20 million thing we had to give him. Because Barcelona owe him $20 million in wages. And United were like, we're not paying 100 million plus for one player. Which, ironically enough, they paid for Anthony. But here's the thing. Erik ten Hag has gotten the players that he knows will suit his playstyle. Because he's played with them. He's played with Lisandro Martinez. A lot of people said, oh man, he's too short. Man, fuck all that. Jamie Carragher wasn't really tall. He was 5'10", 6 foot maybe. That's not tall for a defender. And in general, I like Lisandro Martinez. I don't get the hate. Because if you look at his stats and percentages, his heading is higher than Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, or any other defender currently in the Premier League. Is higher than Virgil van Dijk. He's winning his aerial threats. Now, obviously, it's going to be a huge problem against Man City soon, because we're playing them about a month time. They got Erling Haaland, which I want to discuss as well. Alright, I have my doubts. And the reason why I have my doubts is because I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to adapt to the playstyle of the Premier League. Because you've got to remember, the Premier League is the most highest when it comes to pressure and when it comes to playing, because the Bundesliga is pretty boring. Let's be honest here. We always know who's going to win. It's going to either be Bayern Munich for the past 6 years, but regardless, he came out of nowhere when he started playing for Dortmund. You know, he got taken over by this I don't know. He was playing in Norway or something. But we always knew, because he got linked to Manchester United as well, but I always knew he's not going to go to United simply because of what happened between his father Haaland back in the days and with Roy Keane. Obviously, if you know that incident, Roy Keane ended his career. You know, I don't agree with what he's done, but was a good player. But nonetheless, I'm proud of the club at this moment. The squad is still fuck the Glazers. Let's keep it a buck here. Still Glazers out. You know, it doesn't change that. But I'm seeing a development in players' mental and physical. The players are getting stronger, they're getting faster, their reaction is better, and I've noticed there's more positivity. Because if you saw last season, the season before and the season before, negative on the field, negative in the bench room, because it just simply wasn't working. And when it came to Ole, I do believe he was not the man for the job. He was too sweet. Because if you looked at him in interviews, I think he was scared to say anything negative about players or about the club, because you say anything negative, because that's also a thing that's in the contract as well often. You cannot speak about the club negatively, even regardless if you agree with it or not, because, you know, you're damaging the reputation of the club. But I love Erik ten Hag. He speaks open and honest, but he's not, you know, offending a certain player. Maguire hasn't played a full game in 5 fucking weeks. Sure, he played against Arsenal, and when he came in, my fucking heart dropped. We were 3-1 up. What does he do? He backs up, he walks back, and he fucking kicks the dude, and it's a yellow card. I'm like, dude got a yellow card within a minute of playing. I mean, that shows enough. And I love it. I love that Lisandro Martinez has taken over his place. And I love the Varane duo. It's just an unfortunate event that Varane gets injured very quickly because has long legs. But for the rest, Tyrone Martial, Tyrone Malacia, great. Ten Hag has a vision, and we've got to go with that vision. I'm not saying we're going to win this year. You know, for me, we don't have to win trophies. It's all about performance. If this club this year can manage to get in the top 3, then I'm happy. We don't need to win a title. It would be phenomenal, but let's keep it a buck. It's going to be probably Manchester City or either Liverpool. Because damn, we got to give credit where credit is given due. Manchester City are so good when it comes to signing players. Okay, they may have overreacted in the signings this season, but they always have good backup players. They got world-class players, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the Premier League. My Premier League prediction: I think I think Manchester City is going to win. I also want to give my credit to Arsenal, how they played against us. You know, we've all been making jokes about Arsenal in the past couple of years of, oh, you know, they can't win this and that. They're doing a very good job at this moment. They're still in the top of the league. They've won 4 out of 5 games, which is really good. I think they've only 2-3 goals against them. But Gabriel Jesus, what a fucking signing that guy is. It's such a shame when you see how talented he is that City just actually never used him, because, you know, who are you going to use over Sergio Aguero? If I had Sergio Aguero available every game, I'd want him as well. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm excited for Champions League just now. I'm going to watch Ajax Rangers just now, if they're going to play it on TV, because there's like 6 or 7, 8 matches tonight. I wish United would win the Champions League as well. And speaking about Ronaldo, do I think he's going to stay? Yes. I think he's going to stay. You know, I saw a lot of people saying, you know, no club wants Ronaldo. Ronaldo is finished. As I've mentioned before, you've got to remember and understand. The guy, his salary is 20 million just for a season. He gets paid $500,000 a week. He gets about $600,000 a week. That's about $25 million just on wages a year. A lot of clubs can't afford that type of wages. Fuck, man, Bayern Munich would love him, but he wouldn't fit that system. Ronaldo isn't a team player. Ronaldo is a receiver. You give the ball to him, and you let him do what he needs to do. That's what he was at Real Madrid. Wasn't a team player. He was a get the ball to Ronaldo. That's what he was. Obviously, he's got a lot of assists as well, but you get what I'm saying. His play style is he's a hunter. He gets the ball and he does what he needs to. But I have to admit and say, I liked him a lot against Arsenal. The pressing when he came in, because he was hungry. He wanted to score. It was just unfortunate that that pass affair was shit. Because if that would have been a good pass, he would have been a goal and highly likely scored. But what is your opinion on it? Do you think Ronaldo will stay? Yeah, I think he'll stay this season. I don't think he'll leave. I hope not, at least. Obviously. But, you know, if Ten Hag doesn't have him in his plans, then there's no point of him staying at United and sitting on the bench, because that's A, disrespectful to one of the best players in the world, and B, it's a shame that he then has to end his career being a bench player and warm up and just play a couple minutes. That's not how it goes. I hope for the sake of it that Donny van de Beek will leave the season in January transfer window for him, because it's sad to say. Just got some news in that Mauro Icardi will be loaned to Galatasaray or Besiktas in Turkey. What the actual fuck? I totally forgot about Mauro Icardi at PSG. The guy, what a waste. They bought him for 50 million from Inter or something. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Football players all do it for money, I suppose, huh? Can't blame it. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video about football, and I want to thank you so much for watching the video. I really am glad to know and see that you guys like the swimming vlog. I've got Kaya chilling on the couch for now. I really love this outfit. It's really, really fire, and I would like to thank you all so much for the support. And see you guys. What day is it today? Let me just check my phone. It is Wednesday, so I'll see you guys Friday with a new video. Hey, peace out and have an awesome day. Stay awesome.